Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Meet Praneeth. In today's video, we are going to discuss the Dignity Act of 2023 and the H-1B stamping in the United States. So the H-1B stamping was also announced by PM Modi while he was here for his state visit. So we'll cover that and see what is happening around that and also the Dignity Act. And let's start with the Dignity Act first and see what all is in store for Indians. So the Dignity Act was presented by Representative Salazar and others in the House in May 2023. The whole idea of Dignity Act is to basically bring dignity to the immigrants while protecting the country and also promising and delivering the American dream. And that's why it is also known as Dignitat, where if I read it out for you, it's dignity for immigrants while guarding our nation to ignite and deliver the American dream. Now, this has 5 main agendas. The first agenda is border security, and around the border security, like for example, strengthening our borders, hiring more people to help with the border security, CBP and stuff. And the second one is American Dream and Promise, and I think it's more for the DSCA and the other immigrants. Now, the third one is improving season guest worker opportunities. The fourth one is American Agricultural Dominance Act. And finally, the fifth one is American Prosperity and Competitiveness. And we'll only focus on the American Prosperity and the Competitiveness one in this video. The reason is that this one is more particularly centered towards the immigrants coming through family-based immigration or employment-based immigration. And let's cover this in detail and see what all has been proposed. So let's start with the very first proposal inside the American Prosperity and Competitiveness. The very first thing is, the agenda is spouses and minor children. Now, spouses and minor children of LPR will not be counted against the green card caps. And that will help in the way that all these visas, like around 89,000 plus visas which were allocated to generally the spouses and children of lawful permanent residents, will now go to the F1 category, which is unmarried sons and daughters of United States citizen, and making that number to around 111,000 visas. Now, this is good because now there will be no cap, so everyone who is applying in the spouses and the children of the permanent resident who are applying for a family-based green card will not be associated to any cap. It will also help basically get those visas and add it to the F1, which is unmarried sons and daughters of US citizens. The second one is elimination of backlogs. Now, why this is important is because it will apply to both the family-based and the employment-based. The whole idea is that there should not be backlog of more than 10 years. And if anyone or any family is waiting for a green card more than 10 years, then they should be given the visa. Again, just to remind you, this is still in House, it has not gone to Senate, it has not been voted. So the chances of it happening we'll discuss at the very end, but it's not a law right now, it's just a bill. The third one is per country caps. So the whole idea is to increase the per country caps from 7% to 15%. Now, in terms of numbers, how would this look? So let's say in fiscal year 2023, there were 200,000 green cards to be given. That's employment-based green cards. Out of those 200,000, 7% would go to India. So that number comes to roughly 14,000 green cards. But because of it becomes 15%, now there will be 30,000 green cards which will be available for Indians to use. So this will help in increasing the amount of visas given to a country. Now, the next one is documented dreamers. It's more about protecting the documented dreamers from aging out. And it's, for example, for people who are, let's say, are waiting for their green card and their children are aging out, right? They're becoming more than 21. And if that happens, they'll have to go through all the process of getting a new visa, like for F1 or H1, and start to be remaining in this country. And that is why the documented dreamers age protection is very important. The next one is F1 visas for international students. So F1 you might already be very aware of, right? Most of us might have come here on F1 visa to study. But the problem was that earlier F1s didn't have the intent to immigrate. Now the F1 will become a dual intent visa, which will help people to just directly apply for a green card, or let's say plan to immigrate to the United States, without showing an intent to going back to your home country. Another one is, the next one on the list is employment-based visas. And why this is important, because now the derivatives of the employment-based green card applicant will not be counted against the visa numbers available. And this will help increase the number of visas to be available to be given to other people. Why? Let's say you apply and you are a family of 4 and you applied for EB1 green card. Now, if you are approved for an EB1 green card and you file for a 485, you and all the other people will file their 485 petition, and there will be 4 visas used from the EB1 bucket to give it to you. But now the bill suggests that you should not count your derivatives, like your wife, for example, let's say your spouse, your children, against that count, or the total number EB1 count. That means in reality only 1 visa or 1 green card would be used. The rest of the 3 will not be counted, but they will be given. So this will increase the count for other people who are waiting for their green cards. The next one is H-1B visa authorization. And I think this is also very important. The reason is, it says, or it suggests, I would say, that if you are on H-1B and your spouse gets an H-4, then automatically they will get employment authorization. They will not have to apply for it. It should be coming along with the visa as being stamped. So as you get your H-4, you will get your employment authorization along with it. And finally, O1 eligibility. Now this is very interesting because the bill also suggests to create a pre-assumption of eligibility, or presumption of eligibility for people who have doctoral degree in STEM or medicine field. So if you are a PhD or a postdoc in a STEM or a medicinal field, then you will have you will be already eligible for applying an O1 visa. And I think this would be really important for people who have to struggle to get to H1s and then transfer H1s, extend H1s and stuff, because they can now directly apply for O1 and then get started with their career or professional career. So this was all about the Dignity Act. The main points that I see from it is, one, that there will be the backlog, the number of total number of years of backlog should not be more than 10 years. I think this is a great point, because this will help people get to green cards quickly. And it's not specified to each category, so that is also good, because you have a lot of people in EB2 and EB3 in India waiting for their green card. The second one I like is increasing the per country cap. However, it's not a big increase, so I don't think it will help much, but I think any increase in the number of visas given will be helpful. The other one I think which will be helpful is H4 visa employment authorization. So as you get your H4, you'll also get your EAD, which will be very helpful for people who come here as a family on H1, H4, and can start to continue to work towards their goal and make sure they are getting towards their American dream. The other thing that I think is important or would be helpful is the F1 visas, dual intent. I think that could be very helpful. And apart from that, I think if these 3 or 4 things happen, this would really help a lot of us who are waiting in green card backlogs to get their green card. Now, let's talk about how all this is, as this is proposed in Dignity Act, would this Dignity Act even make these House, Senate, and then also as a bill? If coming to the chances are low. The good thing is that they are proposed different reforms. They're talking about the border security, they're talking about the agriculture, they're talking about the American dream, they're talking about the prosperity, competitiveness. So there are a lot of different agendas here. Now it will depend on the government or in the Congress what exactly is more important to them, right? And I hope immigration or illegal immigration is an agenda for them. If that's the case, then some of these might become true. But it's very difficult to say what exactly is their priority. It could be their border security, could be their priority. It's a very important issue as well. So probably the government might, or the Congress might vote for that. The agriculture dominance could be another thing that they can think of. So it's very difficult to say right now where exactly the legal immigration will fall. But I think the proposed parts of this bill are really important. And I think if these are implemented, it will really help a lot of people from India, China, and other countries who are waiting for their green card and day and night are working towards their dream and also helping United States progress. This was the Dignity Act. Again, the chances are very low, but we'll see how these things pan out. But so now let's discuss the H-1B stamping in United States. So there was some news in February 2023 that there will be a pilot program launched by the United States government to have people on H-1 and L-1 stamp their visas in the country itself. Now, so that means they will not have to fly outside of the country to their home countries or other nations to get their H-1B stamp. After that, there was no talking about it, there was no news about it, but suddenly Prime Minister Mr. Modi was here on his state visit. He announced when he was talking to the Indian diaspora that H-1B visas will now be stamped in the United States. And that is a big ray of hope. The reason is because it's coming from a world leader who was here on his state visit. So that means there is some kind of talks or works is going on in the background to get this or make this happen. However, there is no official word from the United States government. I know a lot of people are writing on different platforms, there are news channels, and there are LinkedIn posts talking about it, that it's official, it's now being done, but no, it's not official until it's been said by the US government, who will gonna launch this program and make this happen. But I think because PM Modi announced it in his speech, it seems that this is a possibility going to happen very soon. So do not get your hopes very high, but yeah, be on a lookout for it because it might happen pretty soon. There is no official dates announced, but hopefully in the near future we'll get to hear about it. And yes, this was it. I wanted to discuss the Dignity Act. I wanted to discuss the H-1B stamping with you. And I know it's a long weekend. A lot of you might be traveling, so wish you safe travels. It's American 4th of July, American Independence celebration on 4th of July. So yeah, I hope you enjoy your time with your family, you enjoy the fireworks, and yeah, just have an amazing time with your family and your friends. And if you're traveling, safe travels. I'll see you in the next video very soon. Until then, goodbye.